This is Out of the Box with your host, Jonathan Clark. Out of the Box, Sunday nights at 9 on Q1043.
Welcome back. Jonathan Clark here on Q104.3's Out of the Box. We are in the studio with Weezer. The new album is the Black Album. Of course, we have the Covers album, the Teal album, and they're coming to Madison Square Garden with the Pixies, TV on the radio, March 12th. All the tour dates, Weezer.com. You guys are everywhere this week. Was it hard getting those harmonies right for the barbershop quartet? Was that like a really long rehearsal for Jimmy Fallon?
You know, what's funny is that we don't really rehearse, but we all work really hard at home, and then we got together and everybody nailed their parts.
Really?
So, yeah, we rehearsed it that day.
It was arranged very well.
It was arranged well. They had split it up into different parts, but we all worked on it pretty hard at home.
Who were the other guys?
Anyways.
Who were the other guys?
The regular Ragtime Gals is like a somewhat reoccurring character on Fallon's show, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So they kind of doubled us, or we doubled them.
I do think that the guy who wrote it was a little impressed that we kind of nailed it on the first try, because I don't know if other people work, as much as we do at that stuff. And Rivers was actually in a barbershop group in high school, and he sort of taught us how to do barbershop a long time ago.
It's amazing because when you do that, it's like there are certain points during any song that a barbershop quartet does where all of a sudden these harmonies just come in and they align perfectly, and it's like,
I was talking about
Pat
that
has
yesterday. It freaks me out.
It's like the
theory
room
about
changes
that.
or something, or the colors change.
Well, here's why, Pat.
Well, it's geeky, but like if it's your voice isn't really a pitched instrument, like a fixed pitch, it can go up and down, and I think there's only it can only come together in a certain way if every voice is got just the right interval in between them. Like it can't really happen on a piano or any other stringed instrument. It's cool.
And maybe just a little out of tune too,
Right, yeah, that's what maybe causes it or something.
Exactly.
Did you guys know that in Africa, I don't know if you heard this, they're in the Namibian desert, some guy set up an MP3 player. Did you hear this story?
No.
I think, but tell me again.
Okay, so he set up an MP3 player to play Africa from now to the end of time in Namibian desert.
with a solar panel.
With solar batteries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he has two versions he can play.
Right.
Yeah.
Were you guys surprised at the success of that? Was it weird having a huge hit with somebody else's song?
It is. I don't know about the word. I don't know if it was weird so much as surprising.
Yeah, we weren't really looking to have a massive hit. It was literally like, oh, this will be fun. Here, bang, and then it just caught on.
And did the inspiration for all the other covers come from that, or were those already sort of recorded in the can?
No, that was Rivers. He was like, let's do a whole record of this stuff.
It was, I don't think if Africa didn't take off, I don't think we would have made a whole record of covers.
Yeah.
What was the point? That we would have realized people didn't care about a cover song, but then they seemed to care. So that's why we did it.
Was that a one-take sort of recording? Did you guys nail it right away?
One time.
Live to two tracks.
Is that what it sounded like? Does it sound like one take?
It literally took us...
No, it sounds perfect,
okay.
but like...
Well, it took us 45 minutes to do the whole record. It was amazing.
No, seriously though, was it?
We went. Yeah, I mean, no, it was. We worked at it.
It's the longest I've ever spent working on vocals.
Yeah,
there's just so many harmonies.
Yeah, but nobody really wants to hear how much work stuff is, right? Or how hard. They want us to be just like, oh yeah, piece of cake. We're professionals.
Right? Yeah, we just nailed it one take. Took us 3.5
Toto
minutes.
Is no joke.
But
and all respect to those guys as players, writers, singers, everything.
Lukather's, his resume is insane.
It was
it's
pretty massive. And
go
ahead.
I'm just saying, all these songs that stood the test of time this long are that way because of a reason, and they're extremely layered and sophisticated while still remaining,
accessible.
Just people can relate to them, and it's not overly brainiac music. It's not too cerebral for them. There's something visceral about it, but there's so many vocals.
A little cerebral and spots.
Everybody did a great job on our record, including our producer and engineer Mark Rankin and everyone, and our management team for helping pick some of the songs and all that stuff.
Now you have like a whole bucket of covers you can just throw in if you need one during a show, right?
Well, let's just hope some people don't ask for like Mr. Blue Sky tonight, because I'm not ready to play it.
Aren't you playing a Turtles song now occasionally? So Happy Together or something?
We've been playing that one for years, actually.
Okay.
That one was originally suggested by Spike Jonze. He was making a movie, and he wanted a Weezer version for his movie.
Yeah, it was during his adaptation movie.
Right. So we've been playing that one for a long time.
That's a fun song.
Yeah.
Rivers, I follow you on Twitter, and it's very entertaining. Here's one that stuck out to me recently. Quote, points at mirror, I will reunite Oasis.
Yes.
What, were you just listening to Oasis that day or something, or just...
I'm always listening to Oasis.
Yeah, me too.
It's so great.
I know.
Oh, we played with Oasis, I don't know, what is about 10 years ago in Austria. Remember that music festival? Yeah. Well, we shared a big room. We just had dividers between our dressing rooms, and we're just sitting there, and there's this godlike voice just warming up, and it was Liam we're like just kind of just stopped, like, oh my God, like that sounds so good, and he's just warming up.
I thought you were going to say there were dividers in between Noel and Liam's dressing room or something.
They were super cool. And the first time we were in London, where we go to this rehearsal space that it's kind of like almost like a recording studio rehearsal space, and we passed Oasis in the hallway, and we're like, oh my God, and Liam just goes, Buddy Holly, top tune. Top tune. and top tune. We talk about it ever since. And another great moment with Liam is he stiffed Pat and I in Tokyo for this $400 breakfast.
That's amazing.
By sitting at another table in the restaurant, and they all looked at us and gave us this wave, and we waved back, and what they said to the guys is, those guys are going to take care of the bill, and so we just waved.
Oh my, that's right out of a movie. My God.
It was great.
They've got a lot of pluck, those Gallaghers.
Well, maybe one day. Maybe they read your tweet. I mean, Liam's pretty crazy on Twitter too, actually.
Yeah.
It's like his last album was As You Were, his solo album. So everything he adds now, As You Were, like F off, right, as you were, whatever he says.
There's that clip of him making tea.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that is classic. Yes. Total Spinal Tap.
For niche.
I think it's been here since the very first Weezer album, and maybe before when you guys were just, doing gigs and not recording. Where does the sense of humor come from? And I think I could be wrong, but I think it's a reason you guys are still together and fans really love you, and you have more fans. The sense of humor that you seem to have in the way you approach everything.
I think it comes from Pat.
No, it does not come from me. I think just the fact that I don't know why it is, but we just literally stand there and play our songs, and somehow there's something more going on than I don't know. I can't explain it.
Yeah, we have these twin instincts. One is to be earnest and express these powerful emotions, and as soon as I start doing that, then Pat has to turn it upside down and turn it into a joke, and vice versa, probably.
It's almost like you poke fun at things, but yet you pay tribute to them at the same time sometimes, For example, the video for the song High as a Kite, it's a parody of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but then it turns into if Mr. Rogers was like in The Who or Alice Cooper or something, or the Sex Pistols or something like that. Tell me about that video shoot and who came up with that idea.
That's a good example of what you're talking about. I think Mr. Rogers is beloved.
Completely,
and we all are into it. And we mean it. Like, Mr. Rogers is dope. But then somehow we just had to mess with it. I don't know. So there's both of those things going on.
The guitars are still on this Black album, but not as pronounced as other albums. There are more different sounds, beats, loops. Dave's, am I saying it right? Sitek?
We never know.
Sitek. Yeah. Sitek sounds cool.
I like Sitek.
Yeah, or Sitek, yeah.
I don't know why.
He's from TV on the radio, helping out producing this. So was it
we'll ask him at Madison Square Garden how to pronounce his name.
He's playing with you guys.
That's true.
So was that hard to sort of adapt to what he kind of wanted to do, or it just seemed natural?
I think it's very natural and very inspiring. I was ready to try something different. I wrote all the songs on piano rather than guitar, and it just really fit in with where he's at, because he's close to our age. He's very much of the alternative generation, but he didn't come from like the grunge background, so he's got like all these drum machines and vintage synths, and wants to experiment with loops and synthesizers. So it was a really fun combination.
Do you guys remember the first time you came to New York City?
Yeah, it's to make the Blue album.
Well, right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where did you record it?
Electric Lady.
Oh man.
Yeah, we stayed in Gramercy Park
Before
Hotel,
before the remodel.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we would walk down there every day. It's on 8th Street, I think.
It's on West 8th Street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Still very active studio to this day. Is it true that you guys have 2 more albums almost completed already?
Yeah.
And one might be called Van Weezer?
Yeah.
Or is that just like, you having fun in an article?
No.
Who knows?
Or Greta Van Weezer or something?
No, that's it's a
Definitely not
working
Greta Van
title,
Weezer.
but just kind of sets the direction for the writing, and
Working title.
so it might change, but seems to be getting quite a reaction so far.
So it'll be like heavier guitars.
Yeah,
on this
back to
one.
guitars, riffs.
We
Probably
love
our
that.
riffiest record.
Since Maladroit.
Yeah.
That's a riffy record.
Yeah, I don't. But at the same time, still like very catchy and sing along, like the Blue album. Yep.
Yeah.
It is Weezer with us, their new album, the Black Album. Of course, the Covers album is fantastic, too. That's called the Teal Album. See them at Madison Square Garden with the Pixies and TV on the radio. That is March 12th. All the tour dates, Weezer.com. Rivers, Pat, Brian, Scott. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having us.
That's
thanks-
soon. That's
thanks for-
really soon.
Yeah, it is. It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
again.
you.
This is Out of the Box with your host, Jonathan Clark. Out of the Box, Sunday nights at 9 on Q1043.